Hi Sagittarius, this is your family reading. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and this will not resonate with every single Sagittarius out there. All right, let's keep started. What is my Sagittarius going through when it comes to family and family matters? Whew. There we go. We have laughter. So for some of my Sagittariuses, some of you guys actually might need to just laugh. I was sensing some odd sluggishness and just kind of, not irritability, but a little bit, just feeling a little frustrated. I'm feeling like maybe there's a lot of things happening when it comes to work or family or just life situations that has caused some of you guys to perhaps need to step back and just have to laugh. So when we go through a lot or high amounts of stress, we have a tendency of also laughing, because laughing could be used as a defense mechanism. When I hear people talk about something that might make me uncomfortable, I have a tendency of laughing. For some of you guys, you could even have that issue, but needing to just laugh. And also wanting to make other people laugh too. I feel like for some of you guys, you've been around other people who've also been probably sad or depressed, and you're wanting to make them laugh, or you're wanting to be there for people too and spread joy. So here we have the 10 of Swords, the 6 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups, the Hierophant, the 6 of Wands, the Moon, 2 of Swords, and the 5 of Wands. Okay, so for some of my Sagittariuses, this could even have been about you're letting go of issues and you're letting go of things that perhaps you felt like you had to laugh it out. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I want to get more, like, all the cards, because it feels like such weird energy that I don't really want to say, because I feel like it's gonna, like, it can change. For some of you guys, maybe you feel like your emotions can change in any moment. So maybe you're all sad and you're crying, and the next thing you know, you're just laughing and you don't know why you're laughing. I was getting that. Like, for some of you guys, you might even feel like you're going crazy. Just have an image of like a girl laughing and crying, and she's like hunched over and she's on the floor, kind of. But it just feels like, I don't know how to describe it. I feel like I want more information before I really start talking. And I know it's interesting. It feels as though you went through something, and you're just now needing to... I'm also sensing for some of you guys too, it could even be like an ex that you've dealt with, or like a partner, like your husband or your fiance. I feel like there's somebody else that kind of has a play to do with this. Or just like a family member. But there's... for some of you guys, this person might try and make you laugh when you're upset, because they don't want to see you hurting over something or a certain situation. Yeah, here we have the Lovers. And I was picking up on the Lovers. Alright. So it almost seems too like some of you guys, it almost seems as though some of you feel like you have to, oh wait, no, that's the other way around. Sorry. Okay. All right. Now that I have more of a understanding, when you guys were dealing with past pain and past hurts for some of my Saggies, you guys never really went past the surface of that pain and that hurt. For some of you, because this could have been something that could have damaged you or injured you in some form or another, but you felt like you didn't have the chance to really evaluate your emotions at that time because you had to communicate something. So it's almost like you guys could have swallowed up your emotions in order to get through whatever event you were supposed to. And for some of you guys, I was sensing that you guys could have been really hurt, but you mask your pain with laughter. And because of that, family members and other people around you don't really see the impact that they could probably have on you. You might have a family member who could be particularly mean to you, or might have a tendency of making jokes on your behalf in front of you and other people, because this person feels like you can handle it, because perhaps you try and hide that emotional side of yourself, when really in reality, like, this person is sometimes, I almost feel like you might be dealing with people that do try to purposely hurt you. But what my Sagittariuses are looking towards is wanting to balance not just your, I'm sensing actually when I'm looking at this card, I'm just sensing a self of your own, really caring about yourself and wanting to balance your own self out. Because for some of you guys, you might have had multiple disappointments when people try to be there for you. You might have not really had very many support groups or support in family. And for some of you, you guys could be afraid because you might have dealt with people your whole life who doesn't know how to handle your emotions. And because of that, you're so afraid to really show who you truly are. And you kind of cut yourself from really moving forward. And you tell yourself, it's okay, I'll pick myself back up. Like, most Sagittariuses are really good at starting anew. They're really good at starting new things, but they have a hard time finishing things. They have a good time at starting it. And having to know when to give up and when to move forward, because for some of you guys, you're not maybe perhaps learning a specific lesson when it comes to a relationship, because for some of you guys, you could have been maybe getting a divorce, because I kept sensing the Lovers as if this is like a family dispute, and having to look above and see what life really has to offer you. Because for some of you guys, you might had to have walked away from a spouse or a person that perhaps you loved and cared about, but letting go would require you to release a bunch of pain and a bunch of burden, because you could have been dealing with somebody where you're not really happy. And although it's okay and although it's good, maybe for some of you guys, you didn't have that bad of a relationship. It still could have been a poor communication. I kept sensing you and your partner had poor communication. Although you guys can make things work pretty well and you guys could somewhat reciprocate, I feel like for some of you, that it still wasn't the best relationship for you. And then for others, I was just feeling that you're needing to let go because for some of you, this person could have passed on. I mean, I don't have the death card or anything, and death normally doesn't always signify death. But for some of you guys, you know, you could have had a loved one pass away, and maybe you try and find ways to cope through laughter. But having to go within, Sagittarius, and let go of the three swords, let go of like each pain, each thought, each emotion, and find that part of you that really is solid and steady. Because I kept sensing like you need to go out into the world and find your real victory, find what makes you happy, because letting go and not having to be defensive all the time and not having to defend yourself too. I feel like for some of you guys, you might had to have defend yourself because maybe you had a person that kept insisting that you were cheating, or just people were throwing things at your face that was false accusations, or things like, I don't know, I just keep sensing for some of you guys, because it's a really weird energy and I'm picking up on a lot of different Sagittariuses, but it just seems like you're dealing with individuals, or you're dealing with one specific person who likes to keep putting you down, or who likes to test your boundaries, and you're having to learn to stand up for yourself. But oftentimes you handle it in ways where you try and make light of a situation, and it's mostly because you don't like to step on anyone's toes. You don't like to cause too many problems. And here when we have the moon, you know, not being truthful with yourself especially, but also feeling like you have to be careful what you say to other people, because in the end, that's kind of feels like it's robbing you, Sag. Having to walk on eggshells for other people, or having to cut back on the part of you that wants to grow and excel and expand because of, say, you have children, or because your spouse wants you to do something for you, for them, or whatever. You're having to learn that sometimes what people are telling you that you need to take, sometimes you don't need to take it, or you shouldn't take it, because you are a strong, independent person. But for some of you guys, this person could be lying, or perhaps you're sneaking around too, Sag, because, and I'm not sensing it like this person right here when I look at this card specifically right now. I'm not really sensing that, because for some of you guys, I am sensing this is you with that Seven of Swords. It's not that you're necessarily lying, but it's almost like, you know how this person left two swords behind and you're looking back at that two swords? It's almost like you're leaving a piece of yourself behind when you're going to go forward, when you're going to try and move on, or when you do speak your truth, because it's almost like it's a symbolism of almost like yourself dying, or leaving pieces of yourself and other people. When you meet people, you know, you always leave a piece of yourself with that person to some capacity. For some of you guys, you're acknowledging that not only are you not being truthful and honest with yourself, but you need to be truthful and honest with other people too, because we do impact on other people's lives just as much as they can impact ours. And for some of my Saggies, you guys have really left a lot of laughter and a lot of joy into people's lives, but at the same time, you can be the most miserable people, right? The people that are normally the most funniest, and the ones that crack the most jokes, the ones that try to be the jokester, the clown like the clown, the classroom clown. Wow, I don't know why I had a hard time saying that. Could also be like, they could be the saddest people of all, wanting to try and cheer other people up because they themselves are feeling down. And for some of you guys, you have a decision to make in your life. For everybody, it's going to be a little bit different. But again, we have here with this moon in the reverse, it's like you can no longer look at your life any different. It's almost like no matter what you thought your life was, it's different than what you imagined it to be. For some of you guys, you could stay stuck. You can allow yourself to stay in the same spot that you're at and not be truthful to yourself, or you can heal and you can work through that, and you can allow yourself to grow and expand. And it's a lot harder than it sounds to heal yourself, but at the same time, it's a lot easier to stay in misery and to never know what it's like to be liberated. and to know what it's like to truly have joy and laughter in your life. Because for some of you guys, you really need joy and you really do need laughter because you've taken life so seriously up to this point that now you're just having to learn to step back and laugh, having to learn to allow yourself to just be lighthearted. Especially when we make mistakes, it's okay to laugh it out. It's okay to not be okay, you know? So here we have the Five of Wands. And it's like, I know that for a lot of you guys, not wanting to rock the boat or not wanting to cause issues or problems with people, because it might keep you, like, I have a sense that some of you guys might keep yourselves up at night or beat yourselves up when you do cause conflict or when you feel like you are a source of someone's pain or suffering. It kind of upsets you guys because for some of you, you guys are so afraid to hurt other people and you might withdraw your own gifts and talents and your own true authenticity because of maybe the way the world has rejected you and the way other people have treated you, and you're so afraid to show that piece of you that's real, that piece of you that's raw, because when you do, that's when good things come to you. That's when you actually start to see the beauties of life. But because we're so afraid of harming other people, or because we're so scared to put down the fake parts of us, it's almost as though it's a terrifying experience. And for some of you guys, I was sensing heavily that this is an ex-spouse, like an ex-husband or a partner in which you may or may not divorce. Or for some of you guys, maybe you're happy with your connection, because I'm not sensing like super bad intent. It seems like you two can kind of get along, but there's things that you are holding back that is not real, that you're not showing your partner, and that could really be harming the relationship with your husband and your kids and things like that. And for others of you guys, it can just be as well too as dealing with other people or watching even how your parents responded with one another, and maybe that's your way of having to cope when your parents would do certain things that maybe upsetted you, or maybe you felt kind of scared or withdrawn. You would maybe laugh or find jokes and things. I just keep feeling like, because Sagittarius are really funny people. I have yet to meet a Sagittarius that isn't funny. So for some of you guys, you could use laughter as a defense mechanism, or you could just use laughter again because of that awkward moment. But learning to be honest, learning to be real. If you laughed at, say, your husband's joke, but you knew it wasn't funny, you could just go and say, "Hey, I didn't think it was funny." Being honest, with your partner, being honest with yourself, being honest with your family will do you a lot of good. Like, not being so scared of upsetting other people, knowing that it's okay. So here we have the Warrior in the reverse. Yeah, I kept sensing like there is this piece of you guys that you just keep purposely holding back, only due to the fact that you're so afraid of how others are going to perceive you. You could be considered, maybe you're a little timid, and maybe you don't want to be over embracive, or maybe you don't want to scare people off. You're trying to portray yourself, Sagittarius, to be something you're not, because you were taught at a young age in your childhood that you were taught at a young age in your childhood that you needed to be or act a specific way in order to gain love and respect. And perhaps that has scared you. There's always just that piece of you that you always hold yourself back a little bit from. And here we have Wishing. And again, it's all in this. We have one in the upright and the rest are in the reverse. And it's like you're wishing for things to be different. You're wishing for things to change. But you are the one that can fulfill that wish, Sag. You are the only one that can make yourself... oftentimes we can sit down and talk to friends and wish about how life could have been different. But life can still be different right now. It's what you do in the moment is what defines your future. Your past is over with. You can't change the past, but you can change the present, and you can change what you want the future to be by changing the present. And so wishing upon a star is awesome, but at the same time, you also need to work on putting things in your life that which you want to see manifest back to you. So here we have hope. And I was sensing for some of you guys, having hope in yourself, having hope in those around you. For some of you guys, you could always have that feeling that you were never good enough, And maybe you always hoped that one day you would be. I kept sensing that hope and that wish kind of went hand to hand a little bit. But whatever it is that you're hoping for, it's whatever it is that you're wishing for. And like I said, it's the same thing, same message. You can do it. You can create whatever it is that you are hoping for, which it seems like here, Sag, it's whatever it is, it's beautiful, and it's beautiful to you specifically too. And the world will see it as such. But you're having to learn to work through it. And for some of you guys, it can be all kinds of things. But what I was sensing with that wish, it was almost like wishing that you could be more, it almost feels like for some of my Sagittariuses, it almost feels like wishing to be more like that warrior, you know, wishing to be more like that person that you can tap into, that you can aspire to. But yeah, here we have passion, desire, fun, fulfillment, and joy. What makes you passionate? What brings you joy? What makes you happy? Because those are the things that are going to bring you fulfillment. And the problem with that, though, is when we're just sitting here, we're always wishing for something new. Sometimes we lose track of what's important when it comes to family, what's important when it comes to other people too, because sometimes we can get so caught up in it. But what is also happening here is I'm feeling like for some of you guys, you might have been daydreamers. That might have been your coping mechanism, was daydreaming a lot. We also have here insightful. Insight, understanding, awareness, awakening, and self-evaluation. So becoming insightful with yourself, knowing who you truly are, wanting to be more than what you imagined yourself to be. Because we have family, we have it in the reverse, and it's belonging, community, culture, and tribe. For some of you guys, and I'm also sensing this, and this is not going to be for every Sagittarius, but for some of my Sagittariuses, you guys could have been adopted, and maybe always wanting to know who your birth parents were. And for others of you, feeling like you were always the oddball out, or the one always looking in on your family. Maybe you guys have always felt unseen or unheard, and because of that, it's left you feeling timid. It's made you feel almost like you're too afraid to have the spotlight, and that's where that warrior can come out and defend yourself, and to be there and not to be afraid to be seen. We have here desires, goals, passion, craving, and fulfillment. And here it's almost like at the end and at the top, it's like you have passion, you have fulfillment, because they both say passion, and fulfillment. It's like whatever you're wishing for, Sagittarius, whatever you're desiring, you can make it happen. But whatever is blocking you has to do with your childhood, has to do with your current situation, and it mostly has to just do with your past, mostly doing with when it comes to family members and when you were little, the beliefs that you have about this goal or about this wish and desire that you have. And when you learn to find a way to work through that, and, you know, just being gentle with yourself and taking it one day at a time, you know, the first step to healing is awareness about that healing, about where I need to heal from. So just being kind to yourself, just showing compassion to yourself, eventually you'll start to find the insight, the awareness, everything that you need to really self-evaluate and to really self-reflect and to start to understand who you truly are as a person. And it all starts by your tribe. It all starts by the people, the culture, the community that you surround yourself with. So that's what I have for my Sagittariuses. Be kind to yourself. Be real with yourself. Communicate to other people when you have an issue, when you have problems. Don't be afraid to rock the boat. Don't worry about how other people will perceive you. Do what you know is best for you and show that part of yourself that is vulnerable, that part of yourself that is beautiful. So that's what I have for my Sagittariuses. I hope that this resonates for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.